What a fantastic night. Thanks to our great donors and supporters, we've raised over $300,000 and we're still counting. What do you think, Arash?
Incredible night. Absolutely blown away by the level of support from our entire community. So if you're seeing this for the first time, stick around, watch the entire program. And if you want to make a donation, you can do so on our website.
Good evening and welcome to Inspire 2025, NorCal SCI's 8th annual fundraising celebration. Hopefully you have a beverage in hand and are ready to learn more about what we've accomplished and to celebrate these achievements with us. We know there's no replacement for being together in person, but by hosting this event virtually again, it allows us to invite so many more of you to join us. In fact, we're proud of having supporters from all over the state and beyond, and are honored and truly thankful you are joining us for our one and only fundraising event of the year. People who suffer traumatic spinal cord injuries, whose lives, careers, and mental health are completely upended, are bearing the brunt of a system that simply does not support them. As insurance companies further struggle to provide even the most basic needs to many of the newly injured, the need for our services and support has never been greater. And that's where NorCal SCI comes in. Our programs, grants, and assistance have become game changers for many recipients, and we are consistently reminded by our community of just how essential our work has been towards their ability to put the pieces of their lives back together and to live as productively and independently as possible. Tonight, more than past Inspire events, you'll be hearing directly from these people who have benefited from our programs as they share how our support has improved their lives. We will show you that as devastating as SCIs are, especially in the face of increasing systemic challenges, NorCal SCI is here, stronger than ever, and providing an ever greater scope of services and support to this community. We have a jam-packed program tonight, an amazing live auction, an opportunity for you to show your support with pledges, stories and updates about our accomplishments in 2025 and our plans for 2026. Also, you probably already saw the link to our silent auction, which has already started and will continue until 7 p.m. tomorrow. So make sure you head over there and bid on some truly incredible items. In case you didn't already receive the instruction, here's the URL, or check your email or event page for more info. Thank you, welcome, and let's enjoy tonight's program. NorCal SCI co-founder Nick Struthers needs no introduction, and I can't believe I'm actually making this joke again, but I do have full license to make dad jokes. You may find the subtitles useful when listening to our fearless co-founder. On to you, Nick.
Thank you, Arash. It still feels surreal for myself and Julie, knowing we no longer live in Northern California. Tonight, I'm speaking to you from Kinghorn, Scotland. Leaving so many dear friends in California was difficult, especially those who have supported NorCal SCI from the very beginning. I do know that I can count on your continued generosity tonight and in the years ahead. One person absolutely thrilled with our move is my 92-year-old mother, Mary. She is the source of much of my energy and is delighted to have us closer. Earlier this year, thanks to a grant from the Craig H. Nielsen Foundation, we were proud to form an official partnership with Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, that's VMC's rehab program, to strengthen peer mentoring with coordinators who have lived experience. This program now extends beyond the hospital stay, ensuring patients remain connected to the community and to the resources they need most. NorCal SCI's roots can be traced back to peer support at VMC, where I first met Franklin and Carol in 2014. They both would have been so proud to see how the torch has now been passed on to a new generation of peer mentors, Kerry and Israel, who are leading with passion and commitment. A special thanks to VMC's Gina Boomershine and Dr. James Crew, who have backed this effort from the very start and helped navigate the county system to make it a reality. Thank you again for your support over the years and for organising such a touching send-off for me. It means a great deal. The walls of the rehab centre at VMC are filled with stunning work by artist Neil Zakula. Hard to believe it's been 5 years since the unveiling. Whoa, like so much else, COVID kept it from receiving the recognition it deserved. Thanks to board member Chris Wilder, who made this project possible, we had a memorable opening ceremony with soccer legend Brandy Chastain as the guest star. The 20-piece collection spans 3 floors. The first floor gym highlights Bay Area sports icons. On the 4th floor, dedicated stroke and brain injury rehab, are breathtaking ocean scenes from Monterey Bay. My favourite is the seal gliding through the kelp forest. And on the 3rd floor, where SCI patients rehab, vibrant Hubble telescope images, fittingly built in Sunnyvale, bring colour and wonder to the space. Mayo's bold use of colour transforms hospital walls and creates a place of transcendence and healing. And now you have the chance to take one of these pieces home. Featured in our silent auction is the stunning artwork derived from a Hubble image of a distant constellation and reimagined by Mayo. Produced on multi-layer aluminum, the 8-foot by 4-foot image, the same scale as this jellyfish, is incredibly lightweight, vividly detailed, and absolutely striking in person. Commissioning something like this would cost several $1,000s, so don't miss your chance to own a truly one-of-a-kind piece. While nothing replaces face-to-face interaction, the virtual environment has become a lifeline for the SI community, helping us stay connected across Northern California's wide geography. Our virtual wheelchair fitness class is now celebrating 5 years of twice-weekly sessions. At the start of the pandemic, Teresa Honecker, an Inspire 2019 guest speaker, introduced Franklin to our friend Steph Roach, founder of Staying Driven Fitness. Steph designed a virtual exercise program specifically for wheelchair users, and the rest is history. Thanks to your support, we've been able to sustain this no-cost program with as many as 15 participants per class. People are experiencing the benefits of regular physical activity, something that can be a real challenge for wheelchair users. We are also leveraging Zoom for monthly meetups hosted by Kerry and Dizzy for former VMC patients, while board member Marco Serrano leads weekly inpatient sessions at California Pacific Medical Center in San Francisco. These virtual programs ensure that even from 5,000 miles away, I can continue to support our work. NorCal SCI is fortunate to have such a dedicated and talented team. With strong leadership in place, we are well positioned to continue delivering vital programs and resources to this underserved community. And of course, none of this would be possible without your generosity. You make a lasting impact to the lives of those we serve, and we are deeply grateful. It's my pleasure to introduce our special guest for the evening, U.S. Congressman Sam Liccardo, who represents California's 16th district, which includes large parts of the peninsula and the South Bay.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam Liccardo. I'd love to be with all of you, but as you can see by the building behind me, I'm in our occupied territories of Washington, D.C., doing the work that the voters sent me here for. I am honored to be with you, though, in spirit. You know, the measure of the strength of any community is how it is we care for those who are struggling the most in our community. And I'm so grateful for the extraordinary work that NorCal SCI does, for the many victims and families of spinal cord injuries, providing care, providing support, providing rehabilitation and hope. And Lord knows we all need more of that in this world right now. Unfortunately, the horrible cuts to Medicaid and Medicare, both now and in future years as a result of recent actions here in Washington, D.C., are really going to devastate a lot of existing supports for so many of our friends and neighbors with spinal cord injuries. And so NorCal SCI is more essential than ever. You know, there's good news and bad news. The good news is we do have enough money to be able to help support all of those friends, neighbors who suffer from spinal cord injuries and their families. The bad news is all that money is in your pocket. Thank you for your support of NorCal SCI. Please have a great night.
Hi, I'm Jill Macri, coming to you from Mill Valley, California. We support NorCal SCI because we've seen the direct impact that they have in people's lives, and their programs have a really tangible benefit that we can really get behind.
A strong community is crucial for people with mobility barriers as it combats social isolation. Through peer support and inclusive activities, people can share advice on navigating the world and finding emotional encouragement. That is why our amazing peer support program is so important in the lives of so many in our community, especially those who are newly injured and their families who have no idea how to navigate this new journey thrust upon them. We are very grateful to have 25 trained peer mentors with experience of all types volunteering their time to talk and listen to anyone who needs their support and advice. In the spirit of connections, I'm excited to share that our virtual caregiver meetup group continues to provide comfort and support to individuals whose lives have also been turned upside down and have become thrown into the world of caregiving for their loved ones. My heartfelt appreciation goes to Jen and Robin for their support in hosting this vital virtual session with me. We are very much in awe of Lindsay Ulrey as she continues to expand her virtual session, Wheel Good Motherhood, connecting with mothers in wheelchairs and providing much needed support for those parents who face unique challenges taking care of their children from their wheelchairs. And every week, our Happy Hour virtual meetup continues to be popular with the community from all over Northern California. Our highly impactful donated medical equipment program allows our community to obtain essential medical equipment that their insurance just won't provide. Sincere thanks to Michael Bejan, who mans our storage unit in Los Gatos, and new volunteer Alfred Shaheen, who now coordinates this vital program. Rosa from Antioch, who is paralyzed below the chest, received a $5,000 specialized standing frame, the Evolve Easy Stand, through this program, allowing her to stand. She says, "This stand alleviates some of the daily pain I experience, and I can use my laptop on the tabletop when working from home. Thank you, NorCal SCI, for the myriad of resources you make available to people with SCIs." One of our signature programs ensures the newly injured and their loved ones get access to vital information and resources as they begin their recovery journey. After putting together over 1,500 care packages, Julie Struthers has now stepped down from this role. Thank you, Julie, for your hard work. You deserve to put your feet up now. We have enjoyed some wonderful get-togethers this year, including a visit with dinner to the Foster Museum in Palo Alto, a bike ride in El Viso thanks to our wonderful partnership with BORP, who bring their adaptive bikes for our community to use, a day on the lake at Vasona Park in Los Gatos, using the adaptive launch for kayaks to get onto the water, a day at the beach when Nature Tracks install their tracks on our users' wheelchairs, allowing them to get onto Natural Bridges Beach, many for the first time since their injury. Listen to what AJ says about his experience.
I had a great time, yeah. I was racing my friend Paige. I had the wide one. She had the narrow one, the tracks inside the wheels. And I mean, if anyone get a chance to ride the wide one, that thing is crazy. I had no problems out there. There's a little bit of a delay on the joystick, but it was so much fun. You can get out on the packed sand, get close to the water, smell like decaying kelp, which maybe not the best smell in the world, but for me, I missed it quite a bit, growing up surfing and all that. So yeah, it was awesome.
We had a great time at the Fieldwork Brewery in San Ramon recently, and another adaptive cycling day is planned with BORP adaptive bikes in Golden Gate Park in the coming months. Jo and her dad had a great time there earlier this summer. At NorCal SCI, we are focused on our community and endeavour to give everyone the best resources to live their lives as full as possible. To ensure our community learns about everything we talked about this evening, we have a very robust communication system providing a twice-weekly newsletter, a website full of relevant content, including a monthly calendar, revamped social media channels, and our well-used helpline. Thank you again to our donors and supporters. None of this would be possible without your support and generosity to fund these much-needed programs. Now let's hear directly from a NorCal SCI donor.
NorCal SCI is an organization we had never heard of prior to our dear friend Jo Marie's accident. Those are really hard days, months and years after her accident, and because of her injury, we became aware of all that this organization does to support and resource those who have this sudden diagnosis. We were truly amazed at all the ways NorCal SCI comes alongside both those who are injured and their caregivers. It was not hard to decide to become a financial supporter, as we have seen firsthand the good work that they do for this community. And I am always reminded we are only one accident away from needing the kind of support and resources NorCal SCI offers. Thank you for your good work.
If you joined us at last year's Inspire, you might remember Gretchen, who shared a typical day in her life as someone with an SCI. Stories like hers remind us how important it is to hear directly from the community about what the day-to-day challenges of SCI are and how people find ways to maintain their independence. Tonight, I'd like to introduce Chris and Carrie. They have very different injuries and daily challenges, but they both show that with the right tools, resources, and support, an independent and thriving life post-SCI is realistic and achievable.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm 56. Back in 2014, I had an accident and left me as a quadriplegic. So today I want to go over a few of the tech items that I use to get around the house and go about doing work and everyday living. When I'm in bed, I like to use the tray table to mount my laptop, and I'll dictate or use Dragon Naturally Speaking.
So I would just say, open Firefox and click YouTube.
To control the software on my computer to help me browse or do emails or work, when I'm doing work and I need the mouse, I'll use my QuadJoy and mount it right there next to the laptop. Also, you'll notice there's a clamp right next to my laptop. I like to have that where I can put my phone there, and with that phone, I'll use voice control on the Android and use that to make my phone calls. One of the underrated aspects of living as a quad is freedom to go do things, and the most important aspect of that is transportation, whether that's to the doctor or around town to do shopping. Those are good daily needs. But what's really important is spending time with family. The van, having my own van with a nice little ramp, get me up there, and within minutes I'm off. I can go do things like travel to see my daughter graduate down at the university. Those are important things. So I spend the bulk of my day at work. I'm an engineer by training, and I work in the hardware industry, and it's important for me to get on the computer and interact with my my coworkers, and virtual living really enables that, and that's maybe one of the positive aspects of COVID, but it's actually one that's really important. I use the Dragon for dictation, and I use the QuadJoy for the mouse emulation, and that allows me to get around the computer as much as anybody else. I use the QuadJoy quite a bit for work, and it allows me to do mouse emulation just like you would with your old Atari, but it's got a straw for the joystick, and the sip and the puff emulate the right click and the left click. A simple sip or a puff. All of these tools help me navigate on a computer or get me to an appointment or allow me to sip water. But the important thing is it allows me to have a life, to raise a family, to say hello to friends, or even have a meal. Just simple parts of enjoying the best part of my day. So thank you, and have a good night, everybody.
Hi, my name is Carrie. I am a spinal cord injury survivor. I had an accident 3.5 years ago, leaving me paralyzed from the chest down, but I do have full sensation and function of my upper body. And today I'm going to share a few of the struggles that come with being a full-time wheelchair user. Okay, so for this first video, this is how I bathe. It requires a shower bench, which I have to purchase myself, and it's gonna go over my tub. I rent an apartment, so they don't help with any of this. I will transfer into the shower, and then I will wash my hair, wash my body, all the same things that you do, But the biggest thing is when I'm getting out, I am very slippery and very soapy, and this becomes a little bit dangerous as someone who is a paraplegic. Okay, so we're moving on to car transfers. People love car transfers. What does that actually mean? You look at this car, you see me in a wheelchair, and you think, why don't you just go get a car with a ramp, right? You've seen them, they're very fancy and very cool. Yes, they are. Insurance doesn't help at all. And those cars run about $100,000 with modifications, depending on what you need. And that is, I'm gonna say, out of most people's price range. So what do I do instead? I have to break down my wheelchair every single time. And this is someone with upper body strength. I don't have core, but I do have hand function. So I take apart every single piece of my chair and then lift this 30-pound chair over my chest every time. Only cut my head a few times in the past few years. And that is every single day, multiple times a day. And then I also have to pay for hand controls. So it's a lot more complicated than the movies make it out to be. Okay, so for this last picture series, we are tackling disabled parking. You know those blue hash marks in between the spaces? Those are for added space for people with ramps, mobility aids, who have to open their door all the way. I need that space in order to break apart my chair, like you just saw, and lift it up over myself. So, disabled or not disabled, stop parking over the line, stop parking in those spaces and using them like a temporary spot, please. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you for letting me show you what life is like as a wheelchair user and spinal cord injury survivor. It has been a pleasure, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your evening highlighting NorCal SCI and taking part in this amazing organization.
I met Nick and Franklin of NorCal SCI back in 2017 and was so moved by everything they have done to help people with spinal cord injuries in Northern California. I couldn't help but support the cause. So please support the cause along with me, because if you don't, Nick will just nip at you to make sure that you do. Best of luck with this year's fundraiser. I'll be there donating as ever.
NorCal SCI's longest running direct assistance program is the Road to Recovery Grant. People at any stage of their post-spinal cord injury life can apply for this $2,500 grant with the hopes of making a significant impact on their everyday quality of life. There are 4 categories that applicants can choose from, but no matter what they receive the grant for, the results are clear. Our Road to Recovery grants are improving people's lives and allowing for greater independence. Let's hear from some of our 2025 Road to Recovery recipients about how they were able to benefit from this program.
My name is Alexis Gonzalez. I am 30 years old. I'm from Santa Rosa, California, and I'm a C6 incomplete.
My name is Steve Schoenhout, 73 years old, and I live in Fremont. I have a level C3 injury.
My name is Landon Yamashita. I'm 16 years old. I live in Pleasanton, California, and a little over a year ago, I suffered a C4, C5 incomplete Asia B spinal fracture.
Hey guys, I'm Ivan Urbina, 28 years old, from San Francisco, California, with a C5 to C7 complete spinal cord injury.
My name is Gerardo Hernandez, currently 37 years old. I'm a T6 paraplegic due to a gunshot wound, and I'm from East Palo Alto.
I received from NorCal Road to Recovery grant, which it allowed me to assisted electric bicycle.
I've got Road to Recovery grant is helping me by providing me with counseling sessions from someone who really understands spinal cord patients. The person that I'm seeing has herself had a spinal cord injury and learned to live with it over the past 30 years.
I received a Road to Recovery grant in order to go to Empower SEI in Montana. I stayed on a college campus and we practiced a lot of functional goals and got to do some adaptive activities. We went and there were PTs and OTs and nurses and people who could help us with, our daily needs.
NorCal SCI provided me with a Road to Recovery grant, helped me out with some adaptive gaming equipment.
Road to Recovery grant, and I was able to get a Firefly, which is an attachment for my wheelchair that turns my manual wheelchair into a power, which makes my life easier and it helps my shoulders out. And for that reason, I'm gonna be able to stick around a little bit longer.
Once I got that bicycle, I was able to go out by myself, do a lab. I started out with just doing laps around the concrete and stuff like that, getting my body used to the movement.
I got help with hygiene things and learning how to eat on my own a little better and transfer myself and things like that.
I wasn't able to play any video games at the beginning of my injury, and once I got the Road to Recovery grant, I was able to get some adaptive equipment that helped me get a controller to let me use tubes to blow with my mouth, and adaptive PlayStation controller to play with my hands at the same time. And now I'm able to game every day with my friends, just enjoy life again.
Next year, I'll be graduating from Chabot College, and I'll be transferring to Cal East Bay and planning on using the Firefly during campus, and for me to get around from one class to another and just enjoying myself and being more independent.
Having the bike has helped me a lot with my mental health. It got me out of a little dark bubble that I created myself, thinking this is it. Just hearing the birds, nature, it helps out a lot, and it gives you enough will to just be like, tomorrow's another day.
I've found mentors who I've been able to work with through NorCal SCI.
I got the quad stick, I think it was yesterday. It came in the mail. PlayStation I've already had now for a couple of weeks while we were waiting for it. This thing's amazing. I can do all my games now back to regular. It's looking hard to get used to, but I don't have to worry about my hands at all. It's all through the mouth, just stuff like that. So thank you guys so much.
Super blessed, thankful for NorCal SCI for blessing me with the Road to Recovery grant.
To everyone who is involved, we really appreciate it, and opportunity to be able to do some of these things is really nice, and definitely helps with recovery and further reintegrating myself back into life with this new situation.
I would like to thank NorCal SCI and the donors so much for the donation to help get this grant started for me and for everyone else that's applied, and just keep it going. And if there's anything that I can do on my end, videos and such like this, or even speak out to somebody, then just let me know, because I think when the community works together, it brings out the best of people.
I'm super thankful. You guys are really making an impact in the spinal cord injury community. Independent and being able to do errands on your own is the best feeling ever.
I would like to thank NorCal SCI and the donors for this grant that they gave me, because it completely changed my life. Like I said, it changes a lot of people's life. It's great. All the new things you could do, all the new things you thought you couldn't do anymore, you get right back into it.
We're grateful to all of you through NorCal SCI for creating the structure and the capacity to link in with the spinal cord community, and for the sponsors who make it possible to get that support, because without it, NorCal SCI wouldn't be able to do much.
Hearing directly from the spinal cord injury community is just incredible, and getting everyone's stories. And Steve showing who you just heard from there, his story is indicative of just how precarious and vulnerable life with a spinal cord injury can be. There are so many challenges that we have to deal with. And again, that's why NorCal SCI is there.
We're going to continue now with the rest of the program. We're first going to hear from another donor, why they donate to NorCal SCI, and why these donations are so valuable doing the work we do. So let's continue with the program now.
Hi, I'm Stephen Roach, and I'm a NorCal SCI donor. And the reason is because I believe in their mission to redefine what it means to live with a disability. It's so important for survivors of spinal cord injury to know that they can live more independently and they can pursue their dreams. But that means that they need community, they need connection, and they need hope. And what NorCal SCI does is bring all of that together that enables spinal cord injury survivors to thrive and gives uplift to the communities around them. It's a pretty extraordinary organization.
2025 brought exciting developments for NorCal SCI. In January, we hosted our first virtual symposium with over 200 international attendees sharing strategies for improving post-hospital rehabilitation for the newly injured. We launched the West Coast SCI Alliance, collaborating with 5 regional SCI nonprofits to create a strong advocacy network. We also continued engaging Northern California neurological rehab hospitals through in-person presentations to clinical staff. Most importantly, our board decided not to pursue opening the Franklin Elias Center Rehabilitation Clinic. Instead, to honor Franklin's legacy and our commitment to supporting the newly injured, we created the Franklin Elia Fund. This fund provides grants exclusively to people within 2 years of their spinal cord injury for specialized outpatient rehab and exercise. In August, we dedicated a plaque for the fund at SCI Fit Dublin, a key partner in this endeavor. The fund supports 2 grant programs, the Newly Injured Grant and the Franklin Project. Let's hear a bit more about these programs and the people who have benefited from them.
Thanks, Arash. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here at Inspire tonight. I'd like to share a little bit about one of our newest initiatives, the NorCal SCI Newly Injured Grant. Launched late last year, it's already become one of our most requested programs with more than 35 recipients so far this year. This grant provides 4 months of individualized one-on-one exercise therapy aimed at improving strength, fitness, and functional abilities, which has been extremely helpful, especially for those who've had limited outpatient therapy. In addition, recipients have access to a virtual fitness class, peer mentors, and a library of educational videos to support their recovery journey. Next, you'll get to hear directly from 2 of our recent grant recipients about their experiences.
My name is Felix Solorio. My age is 24 years. I reside in San Jose, California, and I sustained an injury at the C5 level by diving into a pool. Attending SciFit through this grant has been eye-opening. It's introduced me to new workouts like crawling on the floor, which I've never done before, and is speeding up my recovery. I am building strength in my core, legs, and arms, and has helped me burn fat, which has made a huge difference in my life. I would really like to thank NorCal SCI for this wonderful grant that have been awarded, and also for the donated medical equipment that I use in my everyday to day. Also for hosting events and connecting me to different organizations that have helped me. I would also love to extend a big thank you to all the donors as well who has made these programs possible. I really appreciate your generosity.
My name's Scott. I live in Santa Rosa, California, and I've had a fall, and I injured my C3 incomplete injury. At the hospital, I found out about NorCal SCI. I applied for the Newly Injured Grant, which got me to SciFit, which was a game changer for myself and my family. When I first went into SciFit, it blew me away. I was like, what's this place? It almost scared me. And now that I've been going, I realized how good the trainers are and how passionate they are and high energy. I can't wait to go in there now. And they thinking outside the box, they work you in ways that you never thought you could do, and it keeps you motivated each time you go. It's wonderful, and it's the best thing that's happened to me since my injury, and it's helped me emotionally and physically. When I'm home, I'm looking forward to getting out of the house now, which is a great improvement. So I'm very grateful. It's been eye-opening for me. And what NorCal SCI has done, it's just hard to explain. The effort and the time and everything they've done, just mainly out of their pure good hearts, has been unmeasurable. It's I can't put it in words. It's been incredible. For the donors that contributed to this wonderful program, you wouldn't believe how much it's changed my life for the better. Without that, I don't know where I would be. I'm very thankful. They should be very proud of what they've done. Thank you very much.
Felix and Scott, thank you so much for sharing your stories. Back to you, Arash.
Thanks, Dan. The Franklin Project at NeuroWorks in Utah continues to be a great success for all the grant recipients we've been able to send there this year. The staff and the facility are exceptional at providing critical physical and occupational rehabilitation for our grant recipients, who receive 2 hours of therapy every day for 5 weeks. We continue to receive extremely positive feedback on their experiences at NeuroWorks, and they are very thankful for the donors who have enabled them to get this vital rehab. Here's the story of Ramisa and her mother Husna, who went to Utah earlier this year.
My name is Ramisa Safai. I'm 9-year-old and I live in Sacramento.
So my name is Hosna Safai and I'm Ramisa Safai's mom. We live in Rancho Cordova, California, and Ramisa has a T12 incomplete spinal cord injury. Her injury caused from a bleeding AVM and spinal cord.
What was your life like before your spinal cord injury?
Sport was gymnastics, but at school I used to play soccer. I went to like trampoline parks, run around, a lot of stuff like that.
He was the one that always going to be outside and do outside activity.
What was your impression of the staff at NeuroWorks?
There's a lot of good thing about NeuroWorks. The staff were very professional and they were skilled and they truly understand their patient. They had a very good place for children. We noticed that they were very skilled. They have more understanding of her situation. I was amazed by their work.
Can you describe some of the improvements you made during your time?
When she went to Utah, that pool helped her if she was not able to stand in the water, help her to balance. And she uses the scratches for the first time in NeuroWorks. But now she's using, because of Franklin Project and because of NeuroWorks, she's using the walker for short distance. That is very big achievement for her. NeuroWorks not just only impact her physically, also emotionally. She had a very fun time over there. The staff, everybody was happy, and that was kind of play and also physical therapy for her. And we are very appreciative of that program.
I got better with a lot of things. Kneeling, I improved a lot. And then therapy, we went to the pool. My feet were not standing like this. It was kind of like that. So now it's like this because of NeuroWorks. My glutes have it got more improved, but I still need to still work on it.
How did receiving this grant impact your recovery?
Before Franklin Project, I was looking for intensive therapy, but unfortunately nobody helped me. I knew from the beginning that she will not be 100% back to normal, but I was looking for at least we are trying as a mom and get a help, and she gained some strength. Franklin Project helped us a lot. They pay for the cost, and she gained a lot of strength. I am I don't know how to appreciate in what words. So I'm truly very appreciative what they provide for us, for our whole family, not just for Ramisa. We really need that break. After injury, we were all emotional. And thank you so much. I don't know what else I can say but that was mean a lot to us.
As you just heard from Ramisa, going to NeuroWorks in Utah is an impactful opportunity available to some. For those who can't travel so far, there's the Franklin Project Bay Area, which we launched last year and will continue to grow in 2026. SCI Fit, a neuro exercise gym with multiple locations in Northern California, has been a friend and partner with us for many years. Their Dublin location has 2 physical therapists on staff, and they plan to bring PTs to all of their locations in the future, which would allow us to significantly grow our program as well. No matter where our participants go for this unique rehab opportunity, the Franklin Elliott Fund will ensure that the newly injured and Franklin Project grants can continue into the future.
Hi, I'm Phil Kelhoff. I first learned about NorCal SEI after our lifelong friend suffered a spinal cord injury in a biking accident. Witnessing his journey opened my eyes to the daily challenges faced by those living with SCI. Volunteering at a NorCal SCI community event, I saw something remarkable, the joy and freedom that hand cycling brought to participants. It was more than just recreation, it was empowerment. Later at a fundraising event, I discovered the depth of NorCal's SCI's work, from critical resources to life-changing programs, especially for underserved individuals. Their impact is profound. That's when I knew I wanted to do more. I became a donor to help fuel their mission. If you've ever wondered how you can make a real difference, this is your moment. NorCal SCI is vital to the spinal cord injury community, and your support can help them continue to change lives. Please join me in giving generously. Thank you.
As you've now heard, we're working hard to address the many needs of people suffering spinal cord injuries. The reality remains that these individuals have been receiving less and less rehabilitation, support, and services, and are being discharged from the hospital earlier than ever before and with a greater burden of care on themselves and their families. Unfortunately, because of the recent cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, this situation is only going to become more desperate for our community. NorCal SCI has always been aware of these challenges, and we're immensely proud that the funds we raise tonight go directly to our programs that benefit our community. That's why having you all here tonight is absolutely essential for NorCal SCI. With your support and generosity, we can continue to provide and grow the critical support and services that people with SCIs so desperately need.
So, believe it or not, our pledges were so successful again. We really made a big difference, and again, we can't thank our donors and supporters enough. They really came through and stepped up to the plate with so many generous pledges. $300,000 and still counting. And that's so important, particularly with the climate now, with the new administration and the uncertainty about some of the cuts that are going to be facing our community. We want to thank everybody who's donated.
Yeah, and if you haven't had a chance to yet, you can still make a donation on our website at any time. And remember, every dollar you donate goes directly to helping the Northern California spinal cord injury community. So thank you for watching.